How's it going, guys? This is Guy475 here with a clear shell for my MacBook Pro non-retina 13-inch. So I still have the original mid-2012 MacBook Pro, and I still stick with it because I think it's a really versatile laptop, even though it doesn't have the most upgraded specs. But anyways, here I have finally got an actual case for it, since I fixed it up and decided to keep it clean as it should be since I just recently fixed it. And right up front, it shows you to make sure that your model number matches the one for this case, because a lot of people might buy this case for their new one and didn't realize that this is for the original non-retina one. So that's just to know. This one's by HDE, but of course there are plenty of other case manufacturers out there. I decided to go with this one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just take off this shrink wrap. Okay, so here it is. This is obviously the bottom plate. It has a couple grills here that help ventilate heat, which definitely is a problem for Macs since they do emit quite a lot of heat, at least the older ones anyways. And it also has little rubber feet here, help with the grip. And it's pretty clear as I can see, so that's good. Oh, and there's actually a specific shrink wrap for this guy too. Okay, so here's the top panel. See here, so there's nothing much to look at. It is very clear, and hopefully it won't be a fingerprint or scratch magnet. So let's just go ahead and put this on my MacBook Pro to see how it looks like. Okay, so let me just start with the top. There's no real indication which way is front, so I guess it doesn't really matter. But actually when I opened it up, I noticed it actually had a few blemishes. I don't know if you can pick it up on camera. There's one. See, there's like a little scratch already on there, and you notice I just opened this up. So that's definitely going to take into consideration when I post my review. And it might be in the same video depending on how long this one is. So let's just see how this fits on here. Okay, so now let's install the bottom piece. So this definitely does matter because one side is going to be for, as you can see here, it has the button for the battery indicator, and this side is going to be for the CD drive. So it's going to go in like this here. Clip this in place. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and use this for a couple weeks and give you guys my thoughts right now. Okay, so I've been using this case for a couple of weeks now, and I have to say that it's sort of started to grow on me. I at first wasn't really happy that the case didn't cover like the whole body as I had expected, because my mom actually had a spec case for her Retina MacBook Pro and it covered pretty much everything. As you can see here, it doesn't cover a majority of the back portion and a good portion here on the sides, but honestly the less material honestly is better to reduce the weight anyway. I can definitely notice the thickness after putting on this case, but it is pretty structurally sound for not covering the whole thing, so I'm perfectly fine with that. As you can see, all the cutouts here are easily accessible. The optical drive, the Kensington lock, all the ports here on the left side. What's a little bit more difficult to access is the battery indicator button. But as for the top plate, it definitely does protrude a little bit. It hugs the top of the MacBook lid pretty snugly though, so I have no qualms with that. A little bit of a flex, but I guess that's what to expect for this kind of a cheap case. On the bottom, I definitely do appreciate the grills. Actually, it definitely did help with heat dissipation. But one thing that actually really stood out to me was these rubber grips, and they're substantially, and I mean substantially better than the ones that were included on the original Apple ones. So these white ones, I actually even expected that they will wear off or pick up dirt really easy since they're white. But for whatever reason, whatever material they picked on this thing, it works out really well. Okay, so now talking about how well this thing holds up to scratches and stuff, I've definitely picked up a couple of a few micro scratches here and there, but it's definitely not visible unless you're like staring right at it, so pretty happy with that. So all in all, I can definitely recommend this case if you're looking for a glossy clear case for your MacBook Pro non-retina. It definitely had a bit of trouble finding one within a good price range on Amazon, so this is definitely one to get. The only problems I have with it is just that even when it was brand new, it came with a couple of scratches and some some blemishes of its own, and I would kind of prefer if it covered a little bit more, especially in the back, but it's really not that big of a deal. Ventilation is great, and that grip thing is just amazing. So I guess I can go ahead and recommend it. So go ahead and pick it up if this fits your criteria. Thanks for watching, guys.